Les gars, I think I cracked my whole process of creation and especially creating content. I know I'm sort of like obsessing about it, but being here on the podcast feels way easier. Doing the video project, like the what's it called? The portrait series feels obviously like easier. And what I mean by easier is that, you know, we don't see me. You don't see my face. I'm behind the camera. Here I'm behind my phone. I'm behind my mic. And even when I'm outside, it's like a bubble. You know, I don't see anyone. I just keep on blabbering and talking and everything. And for the storytelling project, well, anybody who sees me outside is like, well, she's doing videos. And it is a career, you know. So, and even if it wasn't, to be honest, it wouldn't be a problem. And that's not the point. But when it comes to Instagram, I realize that it is me being in front of the camera. And you might be like, but why the fuck are you doing videos if you feel so constipated, you know? Like, honestly, the number of takes that you see on my phone, it is insane. Once the iCloud thingy was like, hey, you have too many videos, you don't have space anymore. And I'm like, bro, I pay 10 euros a month for 2 terabytes of iCloud memory. What the fuck? And all I could see was really just the amount of takes that I did for videos for Instagram. And for me, it's easier to do it this way because I train, you know, public speaking, because I want to become a public speaker as well. And I want to talk in front of stages and, you know, I don't know about what yet, but I want to do this. I want to host. I want to just like, you know, fill rooms with like fucking joy and energy. Donc, for me, it's practice. And that practice sometimes turns to frustration. But again, baby steps, we move, we repeat. So that whole process of like redoing the video from scratch for me is like, all right, let's just, you know, we do it. No shortcuts. No, oh, I did this already, so we're just gonna record the second part of it, because then I'm confused and the energy is not the same. So I'd rather do it in one take and stumble and fuck up once or twice, and then I just remove the and in the videos. But then I realized something today, and because I realized something today is that whenever I dance freestyle, stay with me, whenever I dance freestyle and I forget about my freestyle, this is always the best moment. This is always the best part, because it means that I was not in my head. I was not looking for something. I was not rehearsing. I was not trying to, you know, judge myself at the same time of me doing the freestyle. It's like literally I'm in a bubble. I am possessed, call it like this. I am possessed by the music and I'm having fun. I'm in that process of exploration and there is no judgment. But whenever I remember my freestyle and whenever I remember my steps or my movements, this is where I'm like, girl, you were not in it. You were not on the music. You were not in your body. You were not in the moment because of XYZ reason. Maybe pressure, maybe a lot of people, maybe you didn't feel it, you know? So I figured that this is my go-to now. And this really helps me not betray myself, because whenever I'm in my head, then the videos are shit. Even when I hear myself, I'm like, ah la la, ça c'est pas moi. You know, this is not me. The same way I speak here with my French accent sometimes and a few French words or Arabic words, this is me. What you hear is what you get. If this was a sentence, what you hear is what you get. I'm trying to have that same process for videos online where it's like what you see is what you get, you know? And obviously when somebody films me, then I don't care because I'm really into the interaction that I have with the audience or the person that I'm speaking with. So when it comes out and when somebody posts it or uses it as content, I'm like, bah oui, of course, this is me. You know. But when it's me versus the camera, it's a whole different thing because there's no audience. There's no one. It's literally me and me. So it's me looking at the camera and I'm like, attends, mais I'm literally speaking to myself. Genre, I love talking to myself, but now it feels a bit like, what the fuck? So this is part of my process now, and this is part of what works, and this is what part of like how I feel after like hitting the stop button. I'm like, oh putain, yes, I'm relieved, you know. I feel a sense of like expansion, like being expanded and be like, you know what I said, period, vas-y, c'est bon, it's training anyways, let's just go, you know? The second part of my process I realized is, and what was fucking me up, is the fact that I was already thinking ahead about what it is that I'm building, you know? Because I know I say that I don't know where I'm going, or I don't know what I want, or I don't know what kind of project I want to work on, but it's starting to appear as we speak, you know? And so knowing me is like, oh, I have this idea, boom, let's just go and act on it. Did you hear the boom was literally on the same, it was on the same time as the bell was ringing with the church. Anyways, divine timing. But it's like a big boom. Okay, vas-y, on y va. Let's just act on it. Let's just build. Like, I'm good at that. I'm good at just like, okay, boom, the idea is here. We're going to figure it out. Let's just fucking launch whatever, you know? And the Ghana dance camp was like this, you know? I came back from, I'm taking this example as many in my last 7 years of having my dance school, but the Ghana dance camp was like this. I was in Ghana the very first year. I came back and I sent an email and was just like, hey, would anyone be interested to join me next year to run this camp, because I think that a lot of people could learn from it. And then people answered and I was like, oh, wow, okay, then there is interest. All right, let's just go to the next step. So I never have something that is planned super ahead of time. It's literally like, oh, spark, boom, jump on it, boom, build, figure out on the spot, you know. And obviously a lot of mistakes and fuck ups happen, but that's my way of learning things, you know. And it's a great way, at least for me, it's a very great way, because I've never studied business, you know, or I did, but I forgot everything about it. And obviously between studies and what you learn in real life, but there's a whole gap, you know. So you learn more, at least for me, you learn more from experience, from doing the thing, than you learn really from books. Other people might think different, and good for them as well. I don't work this way. So anyways, that's always been my way of building things. And it's based a lot on hustling, grinding. Like, I love having my hands, les mains dans le cambouis. It's like, idée في الخرا, which means my hands in the dirt, you know, because it's like, vas-y, let's go, you know. But is that also kind of energy, which is like, vas-y, let's go, 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 go. You know, it's like military operation, but of one person. So it's me behind everything. Marketing, sales, analytics, money, finances, income, communication, branding, whatever. And it served me well for 6.5 years, but it is exhausting. And I am very proud that I did it this way. But I also wonder, like, what if I had given some time to these ideas to really sort of like mature a bit, to grow, to sort of like be in the dark a bit, and just like, you know, in that dark room when you make photography, it's like it sits there. It's like the nice juice of a chicken. I'm very hungry. So it's like it simmers, you know, let the idea simmer, take your time, you know. And I'm learning to do that now, taking my time. And because of that, I find myself sometimes, and most of the times where I felt stuck with my content creation. I'm not a content creator, I'm not an influencer or anything. I'm just literally talking to you about the process of coming back to social media and to doing something very different from what I've done in the past. Because in the past, again, I was just like, well, I share whenever I want to share. There was never any consistency. Like when I started, obviously, I was like super onto the social media, and then COVID hit and online and everything, and a lot happened, and I was very much on my phone. And then at some point I was like, oh, I'm so tired of this shit. So I stopped, and I was just, you know, posting sporadically here and there. Hey, just join. And I relied a lot on the word of mouth and my community and my students, because I nurtured that a lot. I prioritized the people that I knew already, who would bring people with them. And after that, I nurtured like social media, because priority to the people that I know. So now I am in that also process of doing things differently, wanting to do things differently. And what's happening with my social media now is that whenever I feel stuck, we're getting there. See the connection? We're getting there. So what's happening whenever I feel stuck with my content creation is that I think already too fast, too much into the, all right, product, boom, solution, boom, launch, whilst I don't even have time even for myself to express myself. And this is very interesting because it just shows that, I've only been used to one specific way, which is build, create, produce, and then we figure the rest out. Communication has always worked out for me because I was smart enough to build an email list, to rely on my WhatsApp group, to invite people into the WhatsApp group, to get email addresses and everything. So it was never out of social media. I rarely had people coming to my class because of social media or thanks to social media. It was always because, again, word of mouth, referrals, people knowing someone. And it's like, yes, that's the spider web that I love and that I wanted to create, So I realized that now, and it took me, I don't know, maybe like a good month to realize that what's keeping me stuck is really that whole fucking, that whole fucking thing of thinking already about the product, about the solution that I want to bring to people, because that's the only way I know how to do things. Whilst now it's like, bruh, you've been through hell and came back in 2025. You've destroyed and you're still destroying a lot of your identity patterns and behaviors and all these kinds of things, and you expect to have like a product now and a storyline and a North Star and a vision and everything. Like, hey, tranquille, give yourself some time to also digest. Like even my coach was like, whoa, you've had such a massive progress in 3 months. I'm like, oh yeah, great, yeah, let's go. And that literally stroked my ego. And then look at me today, I woke up and I cried. It's been a couple of days that I'm like, I'm starting to feel the crying session again. And the first thing that I said to myself was like, yeah, good job, bro. You haven't cried in like 4 weeks. So instead of being like, hey, why are you crying? Just cry. It's okay. Boom, result. Boom, number. Boom. You didn't cry in a month. Good job. You lasted, like this is your record. Je me fatigue. I am tired of myself. But all this to say that I think my point of today, really, there are multiple ones, but I think that what I meant to say with this is that really give yourself some time. Like, don't do like me. Give yourself some time. Be led. I think that's it. Be led by the excitement, by the joy, by the, for me, it's such a victory because it's been 2 years that I feel like I'm, how to say this, éteinte. Like that my spark is a bit like dimmed a bit. Well, because 2025 happened what happened. 2024 I was so busy I didn't even have time for myself. So it's a good 2 years and now I'm like, oh my God, the light is coming back. I'm so excited. Yes, let's just go and let's just surf and stuff. And at the same time I'm like just thinking about it and screaming already and being like, it's already exhausting me, I think I've lost some of my energy and I'm still recuperating. And I think that is that, line between you're doing much better because you work your ass off to be better. Like, I'm not a lazy person. I'm not procrastinating. I'm literally like people who are like shadow work and whatever. I am confronting my fucking demons every day because I want to do better. I want to be better. I want to reconnect really to myself. And at the same time, I'm also like, give yourself some time, give yourself some patience, have a rhythm, and don't go back to that hyper production, like go, because truth be told, I don't want to be like this anymore. It was great. It served me for the past 10 years of being in the Netherlands and, working my way through my own company and working my way through Nike and everything. But I am convinced that there is another way of doing things and I am exploring it right now. That's it.